there, starlings. Welcome to my sector of the universe. This is Jess from Capella Wellness, here to help you step into your truth and star into your power. For those of you who've never been here before, welcome. Thank you so very much for being here for the first time. For those of you who are returning, thanks for coming back to watch another one of my readings. All right, guys. So I know you can probably see it's a little bit brighter than usual. There's this little bit glare from the candlelight, but my guide said not to alter anything. To keep it that way, because there's a reason for that. So we're going to look into the weekly guidance, all right, for the week of October 23rd until October 29th, all right? We're then going to look, after we get the guidance from the tarot, we're going to see what oracle messages we have, what your wellness tip of the week is, and what your affirmation of the week is. I am also going to pull a card for this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. It occurs at 4:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So, and it's the last full lunar eclipse in Taurus for another almost 20 years. All right. So something big is cycling out. Look where Taurus is in your chart. And that could be something where some major cycles are closing out with that. All right. So let's look into the guidance for this week. Holy Spirit, Archangels. Okay. Galactic families, putting Syrians, Ascended Masters. Jesus, Mary, Mother Mary. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Well, here's the star card. If you're thinking about all this light that's being, all this illumination in this reading, I guess that's also amplifying this because we have the star card. This is Aquarius energy, okay? So I heard very, very clearly, have hope and have faith in this situation for this week. There are miracles on the way. There are beautiful things happening, because what's happening is that the astrology, the stars are literally aligning for something to happen for you. It may be like a huge blessing that you weren't expecting, but remember, we have to look at, even with difficult things can be blessings, right? They want you to trust the universe, to trust in God, to trust in the higher power, to trust in the divine with this star card. All right. I guess there's something about how they don't allow nudity on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't really been flagged for anything, but I don't think I've had any boobs come out in my readings yet. So I'm going to cover it just in case. We all know this is a star card, as you can see. Okay. So there's something here with regards to going back to what I was saying with the hope and the faith. Something that you may have been struggling with is going to come to some sort of light. It's like the light is at the end of the tunnel. You've been wishing for something, you've been praying for something. It's going to be granted, provided that you're in alignment with it. You've done your healing, you've done your purification. You are full frontal in your everyday life. You are being your true authentic self. The Aquarius energy is being the weirdo, being unique, being, standing out from the crowd. All right. If you're doing this and it's just like you've gone through a lot of healing as you are revealing more of your true self to other people, there's something here that's aligning for you, because now the universe, the energies of the universe, of course, with the astrological transits, they're now aligning to your vibration. They are now matching what you are sending out to the universe. Okay. But whatever it is that's going on this week, guys, the big thing here is to have faith and hope in this. If you've been having a dream or a wish, you've been praying for something to change or a miracle, it will be granted. You just have to have that faith and continue moving forward with this, because God has bigger, brighter things for you. God has a better plan. They're telling you not to give up on this dream, this hope that you have. There's something about you need to wait for divine timing and the destiny. Luke, it is your destiny, right? Something with regards to you are destined for wonderful things, beautiful things in your life. You just have to continue to have faith with this. And as you're going through this, you're going to go through a lot of healing. All right. Some of you could actually need chakra healing this week. You need to realign your chakras, do some aura cleansing. I do chakra healing sessions, and I also do aura readings and aura cleansings that come with the aura reading. All right, so this could very well benefit you this week to prepare you for the lunar eclipse in Taurus. All right, because there's some purification that needs to be done for some of you before this eclipse happens on Saturday on the 28th of October. Because whatever this eclipse is doing in your life, it could help you deal with it in a more, I'm hearing it can help you deal with this eclipse season easier. That's not the word I want to say, but it's going to mitigate the impact, the difficult impact of this lunar eclipse. And again, I'm doing a collective reading, so I don't know what's going to happen with this eclipse on the 28th or surrounding that, because we all, if you don't already know, eclipse energies last for 6 months. All right. So this could indicate where you're going to be really focusing on your healing for the next 6 months or something, whatever happens with this eclipse on Saturday. But either way, they want you to keep looking up. I'm hearing the Jason Mraz song, I Won't Give Up, right? I'm still looking up. It's like you're still going to God. You're still trusting in him, in the universe. You're still trusting in believing in miracles. This is believing in miracles, believing that things will go your way, that wish will be granted, that the miracle will happen. And of course, we're co-creators of miracles, are we not? We can't just pray and ask for things and not do our part. If you have no belief that it'll happen, if you have no faith that it'll happen, then God's like, it's null and void. Okay, if you don't believe it, you don't trust it, you don't have faith in it, I'm not gonna give you that miracle. I'm not gonna grant that wish. It's like, because the belief has to be there, the trust has to be there, the faith has to be there. It's kind of funny because I was putting all this faith watching the Miami game, and every time I said something about the faith, like they were doing something miraculous, and I kept trying to have that, and it just was like, okay, it just didn't work out for me, right? Because I was really hoping that Miami would beat the Eagles, that beat Philadelphia today, but I guess it wasn't written in the stars, right? I just know that Miami's going to have to go freaking watch that tape back like a million times to learn, but I knew this was going to be a challenging game for them, right? See, this is also something like we wish for things. We pray for miracles and we see them happen. And sometimes in other cases they don't, but it's not the end of it. It's not the end of the world. Like I was pretty not poopy pants. I was pretty bummed out. I was really bummed out that Miami lost today. I was really, really revved up for that game. And I was like, okay, I got to do this reading now, because I was kind of hoping to do the reading before the game, but it didn't pan out that way. But even watching that game is another thing in itself, because when I was talking about faith and the miracle, and then all of a sudden they did some miraculous play, I'm like, okay, well, it does work. But obviously, this is kind of when it does work sometimes, guys, and sometimes it doesn't work. It's telling us not to lose faith and hope in the things that we're dreaming about, the things that we're wishing. Okay, because sometimes God's like, well, I got a better plan for you, right? I got a better plan for the Dolphins or whatever. It's like, you know, the astrology could be part of wins and losses with games, guys. I mean, if you really want to look into that, I'm pretty sure there's stuff that's destined, right? God already writes everything down. He already knows what's going to happen. So this week, don't lose faith with this, okay? Because that miracle will happen. It's just going to happen in divine timing. All right. It's not going to happen in our time. It's not going to happen the way that we want it. It's not going to happen according to how we think it's going to work out. But there is a strong energy for some of you this week with regards to your healing. Okay. Whoops. I don't know why. This is kind of dumb because, I mean, it's nature. There's nothing wrong with nudity. We're born naked, so what the hell? Anyway, let's not go there. So yeah, there is, for some of you, you're being asked to do a lot of healing this week. So if you've got something going on this week with regards to or being overbooked, or you have a lot on your plate, God and the Archangels are asking some of you to cancel things, reschedule things. This is going to be a huge week of healing so that your energies can be, can rise further. Okay, I don't know why something's interfering with me here, but what I'm trying to say is they want you to put things on the back burner for now, stuff. But remember, your healing and your self-care is always important. That's paramount to your everyday life. But other things that have nothing to do with your mission work, this is mission work, your calling, okay, your purpose, anything that doesn't have to do with that, put it aside. Focus on what your purpose is, what your mission is, but also make sure you also focus on your healing this week. Taking it easy, maybe even drinking a lot of water because it's the water bearer, right? Even though this is not a water card, this is air. So there's something about, being innovative with regards to your healing, or being innovative with regards to trying out different things that are going to work with regards to your self-care, your healing this week. All right, because Aquarius energy is innovation. There's something about using your mind a little bit more to really better understand what you should be doing with your healing, or trying some healing methods, or working with somebody to try healing methods, anything like that. This is also consulting more with your guides, that you have to understand that you are a spiritual being in a human vessel. All right. We're here to live the way God intended for us to live. And this card has nothing to do with materialism. It has everything to do with spirituality, right? So if you're feeling bogged down with the material world or your finances, because Taurus, that lunar eclipse in Taurus is the house of finances and material things and resources, what is of value, stability and security. You may be starting to realize this week what really is security and stability, what really makes me whole, what is really of value, what is going to get me closer to God, what's going to help me to be more spiritual as opposed to being more material. And that is a very difficult thing to do this lifetime, guys. I know, because I go through it often. Even today, it was hitting me because I started to look more at the material aspect of things as opposed to the spiritual. And then even before this reading, guys, because I struggle with this too. This is not, when you're a light worker and you're teaching other people, if you're going through struggles too, that means that's the reality of it. That means that, that's just me showing you guys that I still have work to do too, right? We're never done with our healing. We can get to close out a cycle with regards to healing something in particular, like with relationships or your past. But then there's other stuff like the 3D world. And when you're fully engaged in your mission work and your purpose, sometimes the devil wants to get us back into the 3D world, and we forget about our spiritual purpose here. We forget about what we came here for. And, even today, it felt really weird. And this tends to happen to me when I'm in a very high vibrational state, when my faith is off the charts, when my hope is off the charts, and I'm just really, really trusting in God and the universe. And I'm continuing to, do my prayers. I'm continuing to keep my eyes focused on God, right? And then something tries to come in to throw me off. It's going to happen, guys. We're never going to escape something like that. So this is also for me, where this week, keep the faith here. It's like that Bon Jovi album, right? I think one of their albums is called Keep the Faith. That might be significant for somebody, or somebody's a Bon Jovi fan or something along those lines. Or maybe you need to listen to that song, or you need to listen to that album. It could be different for everybody. But you have to understand that the universe has your back. God has your back. They want you to grant those wishes. They want to grant those wishes. They want to fulfill those dreams, those wants, or whatever, these things that seem impossible. This is the card of you have to believe in the impossible, because the impossible will happen. You just need to have faith in it. All right. And you got to be in alignment with it. Alignment is everything. So that's why for some of you, you're being asked to work on your chakras. Okay. This could also be tapping into sacral chakra energy with your creativity, purging some more of this emotional baggage from there, being more sensual and pleasurable with yourself. That's actually also Taurus energy with that eclipse on Saturday, guys, because Venus rules Taurus. Venus talks about sensuality, sexuality, pleasure, joy, okay? So look, you see what I'm talking about? Look what's at the bottom of the deck. It's the Four of Pentacles. You see what I mean? This is the materialism card. There's something you need to let go of. Let go of the need to know. Let go of the need to have money for your security. This is security and stability, but this is holding on too tightly to money. Holding on too tightly to material things, possessions, okay? This is thinking that all of your security and stability is tied to money and resources and material things. It's not. The overall energy with this week, this is exactly what I was talking about, all right? It's kind of, they want you to let go of these poor habits with regards to thinking that you need money to feel secure. You need money to survive. You need money to have this, to have that. And I know this is going to sound weird for some of you. However, you need God to survive. You need to trust in the divine. You need to like really start looking up, like in that Jason Mraz song. Listen to that song, guys, because for some of you, that's going to be significant. This could very well be, I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not letting go of what I know is right for me. This could be about you're letting go of the things that don't serve you, but you're not letting go of those things that you know are true for you. You have a miracle. You have faith, not letting go of your faith, not letting go of that hope, not letting go of God, right? Not letting go of that dream, that wish that you have. It's like some of you are going to be very tested this week, and you may lose something of a financial matter. You might lose resources. You might lose money. You might lose a home, because the Four of Pentacles could even be a house. You may lose your possessions, but that's because God is making room for bigger, brighter, amazing things to happen, for miracles to happen. God showed me that when I lost 90% of my belongings last year, and I lost my house, I nearly lost my car, I lost friends. I was told to give up my career, my really nice 6-figure salary, all of these things. Okay. I'm down to very little. Everything that I own is in my room, with the exception of some things that I put in storage in my parents' closet, in my parents' garage. Okay. I had to let go of those things. And God's like, that's not the world that you serve, Jess. You serve the spiritual world. You serve me. You do not serve the devil. When we're focused on these material things, when we're focused on possessions and having things, and I gotta have the money to have this, I gotta have this to have that. No, you don't. And this is what society doesn't want to tell you. They want to tell you, you got to have those 9-to-5 jobs. You got to have the 401k. You got to have all this stuff in a bank. You have to have the money in the car. You have to have that job to pay your bills. You need God to pay the bills. You need to understand that God is your only source and supply. And let me tell you, I had to do a 40-day prosperity plan for myself, to laser into my brain, to reprogram myself that God is my only source and supply. And when those of you, when you're ascending, when you're leveling up, and you start to realize, yeah, God's got everything. I trust that the universe, that God has my back. I'm always going to God for everything. I'm trying to make sure that I'm grounded enough, but I'm always connected to the universe, to God. It's like I am one with the universe. I am one with God. And when you have that connection, you start to realize that you're that spiritual being, and you're here to have a purpose. You're here to be a spirit of service to other people in some way, shape, or form. And you're going to do it in your own way. So some of you may need to let go of the need to be comparing yourselves based on what you do for mission, based on what you do for your purpose. Because we all have a different purpose. Some of you watching this, you have a very exceptionally higher purpose compared to other people on this planet. And it's not necessarily that you're better than anybody else. That's not what it is. Every lifetime that we have, some of us are going to have a purpose. It's not going to be like on the world stage, but in other lifetimes, we will have a larger purpose, and it'll be on a global scale. Kind of like all these, like Martin Luther King Jr. or JFK or Buddha or Jesus or Mary Magdalene or the apostles or Muhammad or something like that, right? All of these people have had a very huge significance in the world. You can even look at Tesla. You can look at Abraham Lincoln. You can look at Benjamin Franklin, right? Inventors, things like that. Steve Jobs even. I mean, you name it. People who changed the world, probably in their past lifetimes, they had these jobs. They had these other reasons to prepare them for that big thing this lifetime, with the innovation, with the technology, with politics, with government, with getting people to see the bigger picture. You name it. Okay. So, but that has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with material things. It has everything to do with God instilled in you, that light. You are that shining star, no matter who you are, shining bright to see. What's the other part of that song that Earth, Wind, and Fire says? Something about what? You're meant to be, or something about truly being. I don't know. I kind of lost the lyrics in that. But maybe that's a shining star by Earth, Wind, and Fire is another song. I need to write these down because I'm remembering all the songs that I'm thinking about. Okay, I got to write this. So yeah, guys, you know, you are that star in the sky. You're here to shine brightly. Shine bright like a diamond. Rihanna, there it is again. Yeah, guys, so you have to understand that you are here to be seen. You are here to be a beacon of light, faith, and hope for others. And you have a higher purpose here. Okay. I mean, trust me, guys, this gets the best of me, especially when I'm at an all-time high. Even watching football, guys, I felt a little bit low because my team lost, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of like, it's football. Okay, football doesn't necessarily have to be as any part of my purpose. However, I utilize those things that I go through to teach. Okay, there's a reason why I had to watch that game, and I had to watch the loss, and I watched it to the end. Okay, I saw some miraculous things when I blurted out, I have faith in, but you guys, I was talking to my team, right? I call it my team because I sometimes think that I should be coaching them. But anyway, not that their coaching is bad. Their coaching has gotten a lot better. But everything that I do in the material world, in the physical world, right? This is like the physical world. It helps me to learn certain things about myself, about God, right? To not lose hope, to not lose faith. And yeah, like Miami won a game, lost a game, but that's not the end of the world, right? We win some and we lose some, guys, but when we lose, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Okay, you could very well look at football as a huge example of that. You know, you just recoup, you just what's the word? Recharge. You just go back and say, okay, we're gonna learn from this, and we're gonna go into the next game and just like knock it out of the park or whatever. You can't lose faith and hope in yourself and your abilities and what you're here to do. Okay, so there's something that needs to be let go of, something you need to release. So you're going to be making room for somebody. This could very well be with the eclipse season. God is going to remove a lot of stuff in the material world from you to better understand that you are here for a bigger purpose. That you don't need the material stuff to make you feel safe and secure. You need God. Okay? It's like even after I went through my losses, my huge losses, all in one shot, I lost everything, practically everything in a matter of 1 month. Okay? 1 month. And the year before that, I gave up my job and my career and that 6-figure salary because God told me to. God says, I need you to let go of that job, Jess. I need you to let go. That's not where your stability and security is. I am your source and your sole source and provider. It's what God was telling me. And God was having me to have faith in him and to go to him for my source and supply and to trust that he was going to provide for me with what I need when I needed it. Right? And then there's also this thing about, oh, I don't have money to go travel anymore. I don't have money to get these little things that I used to get. And God doesn't want to deprive us of getting nice things, guys. He wants us to live in a lap of luxury. He wants us to be wealthy. But we have to be spiritually wealthy first before he can bring about the material wealth. Okay? So it might be a challenging week for some of you to really maintain that faith, because for others of you who are aligned, Those of you who have really gone through the purification renewal process, you've gone through the struggle for a long time, but you now understand about why you were here, okay? To be a spirit of service. Some of you are already doing your mission work. Some of you have already lost practically everything that you've ever owned. Some of you don't have the house anymore. You don't have the car anymore. You don't have those things that are sitting in your living room right now. You've moved somewhere else. You've even let go of your person. You have to lose practically everything in order for you to make room for those miracles to come in. And I'm talking about big ass miracles, okay? I'm talking about things that seem impossible, but they're actually not, because God is the only one who can make the impossible possible, right? And the star card comes after a tower. Maybe some of you have already gone through a tower, or you're going to go through a tower moment this week. If you watched my live on Saturday night, the tower card was underneath the 10 of Cups when I did the collective love reading, okay? You need to find inspiration in your purpose, in your mission work, in what God has called for you to do, in your destiny. All right? This is having that calm through the storm. Some of you, this is the calm through the storm, after the storm. You're going to see brighter days, sunnier days. I see the sun card with this. You're going to start to realize that, oh my goodness, it actually happened. The miracle happened. The dream came true. You know, there is finally the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't need to struggle through this anymore. Because I've maintained my faith. I kept going. I trusted in God. I kept, you know, moving through this. Whatever challenges you've been facing, these difficulties are going to fade. All right. It's things coming to light. It's things really coming out there. And I'm seeing like somebody coming outside and viewing the stars. Somebody here likes constellations. They like astronomy. They like astronomy. They have a telescope, an Orion telescope, and they like to go out there and go look up the stars or see what constellation is above them, something like that. So there's something here about, maybe for some of you that could be your purpose. Maybe learning more about astronomy or astrology, or learning more about the stars, or maybe learning more about healing. That's your purpose. Doing chakra work, doing Reiki, doing color therapy, doing sound healing, doing aura clearing, right? Because I ended up finding out several months ago that God told me I had the ability to clear auras, okay? And I'm like, what the hell? And God's like, well, you're at the vibration now. You have done all the purification and healing to be able to heal in that manner, because we're all going to go through different levels, guys. And I had to keep letting go of stuff and letting go of stuff and letting go of other things, to include things in the material world, in order for me to make room to be able to become a more powerful healer. All right. You're going to be leveling up, not only with your healing for yourself, but leveling up in your healing abilities for mankind. All right. But that really entails you need to let go of people, places, things, anything in the material that you know doesn't serve you, and you just have to kind of like bite the bullet. All right. Especially when it comes to money or whatever, you know, you need to leave something. You need to walk away from something. You just gotta deal with it. You have to fully trust that they are going to support you. God's going to support you. The angelic realm is going to support you. The universe is going to support you. All right. But you've got to have that trust and that faith in the higher power, in the higher realms. And you also have to believe in yourself that you can do this work. Whatever your purpose is, you can do this. You can rise above the challenges, because the challenges are here to help you grow, learn, and evolve, to get you to shine brighter every time you overcome obstacles and challenges, and every time you're having to let go of certain things. Okay? Every time you have to just release. It's like you can't hold on too tightly to that anymore. It's time to let go of the material world. It's time to let go of those things that don't serve you. It's time to let go of that need to have money to survive. And yes, we all know that we need money to pay the bills and all these other things, but you paying the bills is not your purpose. You having material things is not your purpose. God is going to replenish that. He's going to bring that back to you when you understand who you are. And some of you are star seeds, okay? Some of you are having a very hard time in this material world because you're star seeds, all right? I'm a star seed myself. I'm a whole bunch of things, actually, but it's also adding to the struggles that I deal with every now and again, especially when something tries to bring my vibration down when it's going through the roof. Starseeds have a very hard time in the material plane because everybody helps each other out. There's no currency. There's no paying the bills. There's no 9-to-5 job in those other starseed systems, guys. That's not how it works over there. This stuff here with material things, money, possessions, it's on Earth, not anywhere else. It's only here, which is why we were signed up to do this. Let me go try what it's like to live on Earth. And we're like, oh shit, man, what did I sign up for? Right? I know I've gone through some stuff like that, but when you realize that God always comes through, when you are that connected, you understand you are one with God, you're one with the universe, you're one with everybody around you. And you start to realize, I have a purpose here, and God is going to be taking care of me as I fulfill my mission work, my life's purpose. My material needs are going to be met as I do this. But again, you're going to have to let go of that need, thinking, oh, I need the money to do my purpose. I need my money to fully answer God's call. I need to have a backup plan. I need to have all this stuff before I jump in and do it. You don't. And I know some of you think I'm crazy, but you have to trust in what I'm saying, because if you've known my story, I have a roof over my head. I still have money to buy things, necessities, food, gas for my car. I still have the money to pay the other bills that I have left to pay, right? I can't just yet do the other things that I used to do, like going on trips with my son or by myself, or buying these other things that I used to buy or whatever, right? Or thinking that I needed to go do something outside in the material world, or buy something to fill a void, or thinking that I need this to fulfill my happiness. No, I'm starting to realize mission work is my purpose. Mission is what brings me happiness. I am destined for greater things, right? So are you. I'm here to utilize my gifts and talents to help heal people in some way, shape, or form. I'm here to get people closer to God. I'm here to get people to understand their purpose, to get them aligned with their purpose, to heal them, whatever. There's a whole bunch of things that I've been called to do, but it's really about being more spiritual and really leaning more on God for everything, to include money, finances. All right. And that is tough. If you look at Matthew chapter 6, it talks about how the birds, the trees, the animals, they're all provided for, right? Do you see them stressing out? Do you see them freaking out? A lot of animals don't have a house, okay? They don't have a concrete building over their head, but look at how God provides for them. It's like one day I was eating my breakfast out in my parents' backyard, and it was pouring down rain, and the birds were flying around in it. And some of them were sitting on the fence without being underneath a palm frond or on a branch and a shady tree, and they were just getting wet, and they would flap their wings every few seconds to get the water off their wings. And then they would fly somewhere else, probably perch on a branch, and just kind of like wait it out. And I said, wow, it's so simple. It's so simple. They don't worry at all that God is going to stop the rain or he's going to give them what they need. They still had some sort of shelter, but they weren't bothered by the rain either. They know it's part of life. You can't have flowers without the rain. You can't have light without dark, right? And if you observe nature, this is why going out in nature is so important. If you observe how God provides for them, what makes you think that he won't provide for you? You're more important. than the birds in the trees, right? You're the children of God. So what makes you think that God isn't going to provide for you, especially when you are following your purpose? Trust me, I am the one person that you can talk to about this, about how to let go of the material world. It's not fucking easy, okay? It's not. It is not in the least bit. And every now and again, because we are human beings, we go back to thinking, oh my God, I don't have this. I don't have a house. I don't have the car. I don't have these other things. I don't have my own place, whatever, whatever, whatever. God understands this. And it's not that God's saying, I don't want that for you. You're not going to have it ever again. No. Because when God blesses you magnanimously, there's something about with this Four of Pentacles, like a philanthropist or wealth, because this Four of Pentacles person is a wealthy person. Okay? God needs you to let go of the old so the new can come in. There is a skull there, and I'm looking at Scorpio energy. And Scorpio season has already started by the time you watch this, guys. If you're watching this October 23rd onward. All right? So now we're in this Scorpio season. So it's kind of like really digging deep and understanding what needs to come to the surface, what needs to be released emotionally, materially. And Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. All right, so look at where Scorpio is in your chart too. There's stuff in Taurus and Scorpio that needs to come to the surface that you need to release. Both mercifully, both materially and emotionally. All right? Some of this is like letting go of your counterpart. Fully surrendering. You're here for a spiritual purpose. You're not here to come into union with your person. You're not here to have a 9-to-5 job. You're not here to have that money that is tied to the devil to pay for your bills. That money that you get is tied to your purpose, which is tied to God. All right? And when God sees that you become more spiritual than material, and you're not going back to who you used to be, where I need to have these things. I need to have this job to have that house, to have that car, to have these things. When you let go of that mindset, okay? Because there's like scarcity mindset. There's not enough to go around. There's not enough for me. There's not enough for you. There's not enough to whatever, whatever. You're dealing with God here, who's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us. You're dealing with the freaking universe. God can do anything. He gives abundance to everybody, right? Abundance in health, abundance in love, abundance in peace, abundance in tranquility, abundance in happiness. Not money. That's the last thing to come in. So this scarcity mindset needs to, you have to understand that there's no lack whatsoever. You always have what you need when you need it. But you have to trust that God is going to do that for you. It's having an incredible amount of faith in this, guys, and really believing in the impossible. God will do the impossible. He will come through and grant that thing for you, provided you believe, you have trust, and you have faith. God is never going to leave you without. The only time where you're left without, or you continue to have a lack mindset, is when you are driven by money, when you are driven by material things. I need to have this, I need to have that, I need to have that salary, I need to have that bank account, blah, 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 right? Your intuition is telling you, you know what? No, I'm okay. I am not without. I have enough. I am abundant in all areas of life. So some of you, you're learning this week to really let go and let God, and really trust in God and in the universe that they've got your back. You got to believe in the impossible. You got to keep looking up. I'm still looking up. You're not going to give up on yourself. You're not going to give up on your mission. You're not going to give up on those dreams. You're not going to give up on those hopes and those wishes. All right? God has heard you. You don't need to repeat it a million times. because it's been granted. The difference here is that God's trying to get you to make space for those big dreams and those big miracles and those big wishes to come into fruition. You have to make space and believe that these things can happen. Okay? Because things will get better when you do. And yes, God's going to have you struggle. God's going to have you where money's going to be tight. Okay? And you have to be like, what am I going to spend this on? What am I going to spend that on? Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. God, I have these other things and I would like to go do this, but I need to spend money on that. God understands this. He sees everything, guys. He sees everything. Because some of you, either you are being a tightwad or you're being an overspender. It's something that some of you have to come to terms with, or you have to find a balance. You can't be afraid of spending money, and you can't be afraid of not having enough, but you can't be afraid of spending money, but you also can't go out there and just like throw, your debit card or your credit card at every little thing. Okay? There's a balance there. All right? There's a balance. But you also can go out there and say, you're not worried about money. Say, okay, I don't have much right now, but I'm going to go spend it on gas. I'm going to spend it on my healing. I'm going to spend it on something that is purposeful, something that is, that I really, really need. Okay? And then, even when you spend your last $20 or whatever on that thing that has a purpose, that has to do with your healing, that has to do with your purification process, your renewal, that has to do with you being more free and clear of these materialistic tendencies, then God's going to replenish that. Okay? He knows. He knows that a lot of people who are starseeds, who are healers, light workers, whatever, he knows that a lot of them truly struggle in that realm. And sometimes some of them may seem like they're not, guys, and you may feel like all that glitters isn't gold, that a particular healer, reader, spiritual coach, light worker, whatever, seems to be doing fine, but you don't know that. Maybe they're doing fine materially, but they have health issues, or they're heartbroken, or they still have a lot of healing to do, or they're not abundant in peace, in love, harmonious, unconditional love. They're not abundant in tranquility. They're not abundant in happiness. All right? Which one would you rather have? Would you want to have a stressful life? You want to have a life filled of anxiety? Do you want an abundance of stress, an abundance of anxiety, abundance of resentment, abundance of lack of forgiveness, an abundance of sleepless nights? Or would you have an abundance of happiness and peace, right? Would you rather have having all the money in the world, yet you're sickly, yet you're angry with people, yet you don't have true love, you don't have peace in your life, it's stress to the max? I know I've learned that the hard way, where it's like, geez, I'm just like in this state of flow. And I have to remind myself of why God brought me here, what my purpose is. And I have to remind myself, and God reminds me time and time again, Jess, you know that I always come through for you. You know that I always give you what you need and what you needed, to include my son, right? Because I'm a single parent, okay? And I'm so grateful God led me here, because I know other people with their purpose, they ended up having to live in their cars, maybe live out on the streets. Like, it's happened to a lot of light workers. It's happened to a lot of spiritual coaches and stuff. And when you see those people, how they had to struggle through that, but they saw their purpose, they kept looking up, they trusted in what God was doing with them, they came out victorious. They ended up becoming wealthy, right? Because they went through the struggles, they went through the battles, and they said, nope, I'm trusting in God, I'm trusting in the universe, I have a purpose here, I'm a spiritual being in a meat suit. I have to understand that God's going to provide. And we go through those struggles, right? Because we're there to teach that to others, to give them hope, to be an inspiration to others. You're all here to be an inspiration for others based on the difficulties that you're going through, right? My life could be way, way, way worse. Way worse. But you know what God said? He said, Jess, I'm still going to put a roof over your head. I know it's going to be where you don't want to be. I know it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable at times. I know that you're somewhat your own place and all these other things. But look what I'm doing in your life. Because I had to do some even more healing when I got here. And after I got here, my gifts become became more advanced. God added more gifts, right, that I didn't know I had, but I had to keep releasing and letting go the material world, right? And God wanted to see what I was going to do. Am I going to force myself to go back to that job? I could have done that. I still have people hitting me up to go back to work. And I had a very, very nice job that wasn't easy to have or maintain. Okay? I had a very sought after job, if you want to look at that. And I know God tests me. The enemy tries to get me to go back to that so that I can go back to having the life that I have. But here's the thing, guys. You got to go let go of the life that you have now in order to have the life that you truly want. That's the whole thing with this. And you're going to have to let go of a lot. And when God sees that you're trusting in what he's doing with you and your purpose, he's going to bless you with that life that you really want, that you're really dreaming about. All right? In all senses of the word, whatever these dreams, hopes, and wishes you have. But there's a lot that needs to be done before you get there. And I know for me, it's been such a huge test of strength for the past 4 years, especially. Holy shit balls. When you're having to have faith in something, in a prayer, in a miracle, and you've been going through it for 4 years, a lot of people give up hope and they give up faith because it's been so long. But remember, 4 years means nothing to God. What I'm hearing is that 4 years to God is 4 nanoseconds to him when it comes to human time, right? Because we all know God doesn't go by time. He has his own method of timing. So really understand, God will never leave you nor forsake you. He won't abandon you. He won't leave you without. This is the time to lean on God for everything this week, guys. Because for some of you, you're on the brink of a miracle. Things have been tough for you financially, right? It's a little bit like not much in your cupboard, in your bank account. You're having to determine, okay, I have these bills to pay. I have these things to pay. I have food to pay, gas to put in my car. All right, I only got this much coming in. I'm going to apply it to this. And then, some unexpected expense happened, which would happen to me for the month of October. And I'm like, okay. But then I couldn't worry about that. And I said, I know God's going to come through. And he comes through. He's been coming through. All right. So this is really a huge test of your faith. A huge test of your faith this week for some of you. Because a smaller group of you, your financial situation's about to change. And that comes with that Taurus eclipse, because Taurus is the house of money, of possessions, of resources. All right. Some of you may need to stop overspending or stop being a tightwad. Stop being afraid of spending money on something that you can really benefit from. Okay? This could be stop spending money on material things. Like some of you are thinking, well, if I spend money on this, I need to get something tangible back. For some of you, this is what this is. And you're afraid to put money towards your healing, your spiritual purpose, your, having somebody work with you, or just going to God, or whatever this is. But there's something about some of you are afraid of spending money on things where you're not going to see a tangible return. Do you have any idea what you would get back when you are investing your time, money, and energy into your healing, into your purpose, into yourself? You're investing in God, and God is seeing that you're making God a priority. These are about priorities. What are your priorities? Is it material things, or is it your health? Is it your healing? When you are prioritizing your healing, your purification process, your renewal, your becoming somebody you've never been, You are prioritizing God in your life. And when God sees this, he gets you to the vibration to where, okay, they're working on the healing. They're focusing on me. They're prioritizing me because they're prioritizing themselves with their healing or whatever, their purpose. You will get to the vibration, provided you don't go back to being materialistic or going back to that 9-to-5 job or whatever, the materialistic world. God will come in and throw some insane miracles in your face. I just heard you haven't seen anything yet from me. That is for one person. I don't know who that's for, but God said you haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen what I can do in your life. Some of you have been seeing miracles already. God's about to give you a big ass one. And for some, it has to do with your home, your financial situation. Okay? You've been saving the money. Maybe some of you need to save more money. Being more practical. All right? Some of you are letting fear-based thoughts limit your actions, especially when it comes to money. Understanding what is really of value. This is all stemming from the Taurus eclipse, guys. Like, I can't make it up. What is really of value in your life? This is also sharing gifts and talents with other people. Sharing your resources. Sharing your money, maybe. Giving money to others to help them with their purpose or something along those lines. Some of you know what this is. If you've been blessed with great resources, if you're a wealthy person already, you've got money in the bank, you've got money more than to give. Some of you are being asked to give to others who have less than you when it comes to resources or money. It's different for everybody. And some of you, you're holding on to this too tightly. You're blocking abundance from coming in. It's like Scrooge McDuck. This is my Scrooge McDuck card. He's so wealthy and he just wanted more money and more money, more money. I'm not going to share. I'm not going to be a philanthropist. I'm not going to give to others. No, this is my money. I earned it. I made it. It belongs to me. Actually, guys, if you're thinking that for whoever this is for, that's not true. Money belongs to energy. It's money. Money is energy. It always goes back to God, guys. It doesn't belong to you. Money is to be shared. It's to be disseminated to others, to things, to spiritual people, practices, godly things, whatever. There's a lot here. This could be being too careless with money. Like I said, throwing your debit card or just everything or your credit card or everything. Ooh, shiny objects. And ooh, I'm just going to get this. I'm going to get that. Get that. But there's something about material things. It's different when you're spending money on your spiritual business or your purpose or your healing. There's something about having a balance. Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be spending on some nice things for yourself, giving yourself a treat, like trick or treat over there, getting something nice for yourself, right? But you don't overdo it. You balance that out. You get something a little bit for yourself or whatever. You donate to other people. You put into your practice, your purpose, your business, whatever. Your healing even, right? It's like buying healthier foods. Buying like tea or something as opposed to the coffee or whatever. And again, I'm not judging people who drink coffee, whatever. purchasing things, they're going to flush out your system. This could be very well with regards to the things that you eat, the things that you drink. All right. It's like we all know when we're buying organic food or we're buying tea, or we're buying things that are healthy for us, it's more expensive, right? And some of you are like, nope, I'm not going to spend money on that. Look, trust me, I go through the same thing. And God's like, okay, like, do you want to be healthy, to be able to be at the high energies, to do what we called you to do? Or you're going to be like, you know, holding on too tightly to your money? I don't want to spend on that. I don't want to spend on that. I don't want to spend on that. I'm not putting my money towards that. I'm not getting any tangible return. I'm hearing for some of you, be careful with regards to saying those things to yourself when you're buying something and you're expecting something back, like expecting something tangible. Okay? Like in the physical, this is the physical world. For instance, you go to the supermarket, right? You buy bread, milk, fruit. Those are things that you can taste, touch, see, smell. You ingest those things, correct? Okay, I'm putting money towards those things. I'm getting something back out of it because I'm going to eat it. I'm going to drink it. I'm going to smoke it. Okay. But then you have things like giving money, like utilizing your gifts and your talents to help other people heal, right? You may not get money for those services all the time, but you're utilizing that to help others because that's your purpose. You're not always supposed to get back money from that. And sure, God wants you to utilize those gifts, those talents to share with others, especially if you're a healer, a light worker, a Reiki, practitioner, whatever this is. But you're here to heal. You're here to inspire. You're here to motivate. You're here to be the beacon of faith and hope so that you can help others go through their struggle and not necessarily get money from it all the time. God wants you to have a thriving business with that, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is not to make money off of it. The bigger value is how you're healing people, how you're inspiring people to get closer to God, to have more faith in God, to trust God more. That is way more valuable than anything else, because people who don't have that in their lives, they fall the fuck apart. And when you're investing in things or you're buying money, like, I'm going to go get a healing service done. I'm going to go get Reiki done. I'm going to go get an aura cleansing done. I'm going to get a reading done. I'm going to get this done. You're not literally getting a physical thing. That's understandable. That's evident. But you are getting something way, way more valuable than a physical thing. It's like if you spent money on one of my decks, right? Like my Oracle deck, my Star Interior Power Oracle deck. This is a self-care deck. Yeah, you spend money, you get a physical product, which is going to help with your healing, right? It's going to help with a lot of things. Self-care. But when you purchase a reading from me, like if you're doing aura cleansing or chakra healing, you get a video, but you don't get a tangible product. You don't get a physical thing. But that is way more valuable than this. I will say that. This is just a tool to help you. But putting that towards your healing, it will clear stuff for you. It's part of your renewal process, your purification process. It's part of you raising your vibration to make you shine brighter, so that you can get into the vibration necessary for those dreams, those miracles that you've been waiting to happen. You have to co-create the miracle, guys. You can't just pray about it. You can't just do rituals and manifestation things. You got to do the healing work, and you got to let go of material shit in order for those bigger things to come in. That's the reality. And part of that is that you are doing your purpose and not focusing on the materialistic piece of this at all. God is going to see you through because he's your only source and supply. And when you invest in those things to get you there, to better understand it, to get you to the vibration, to have these insane miracles coming in your life, he will bless you with more miracles. Because he sees you're investing in God. He sees you're prioritizing God by prioritizing your healing, by prioritizing your mission work, your purpose. And you're not letting scarcity mindset get the best of you. You're not letting the mundaneness of the world to get you, to throw you off of your purpose. There's an exchange of energy. Money is energy, right? It's like when people donate to charities, give money to the homeless, donate to like I do in my lives, right? You can make a donation as an exchange of energy instead of giving a reading. When you do that, it's energy. That's going to come back to you tenfold. Because God sees that you are, I have all this money. I'm going to plop $1,000 in that person's CashApp account, right? I'm just going to be generous here. I'm not going to be frugal. I'm not going to be my precious. This is my money and I made it. No, it doesn't belong to you. Even the money that I make with whatever I do here, it doesn't belong to me either. I have to start, I look at the things of how I can give back. How can I give that back out? But I also use my gifts, my talents, and my abilities to help. It's almost like a tit for tat. Some of you are programmed to think, if I spend this, I have to get a tangible thing back. No, you don't. That is you being materialistic. That is you tying yourself to the devil. That is you tying yourself to the 3D world. This makes you in the 3D world and of it when you think that way. This is resisting change. No, I'm not going to change. I need to have the money to go start my spiritual business. No, I need to have the house. I need to have money to pay my bills. I hear this so often. Money to pay the bills. Money to pay the bills. Money to pay the bills. I want to buy all these tangible things. I want to buy all these materialistic things. How is that going to help you get you to the vibration to have massive miracles come in? Okay? All the miracles that I keep experiencing ever since I've been in my parents' house, and I've been here for a year, they wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have let go of all that stuff. And I'm talking about big miracles, and some of you know what those things are. Something that I thought was impossible, God made fucking possible because I had to let go of practically everything. And I know he's not done yet. And I keep being tested over and over and over again. But I have to go back to God. And this is why I have that there. But first, pray. After I did my meditation and stuff, my usual incantation, or like my usual prayer that before I do my readings, I said a different one because I felt myself starting to go back to this. And I said, God, please remind me of what I am here for. Please remind me what you called me to be, what you've called me to do, how I'm here to be an inspiration to others, right? And then I get my mojo back, I get back into gear, and I start to remember who I am. I'm a spiritual being. I'm not a material one. And sure, I am a human being. I have to remind myself that I'm a child of God, that I'm one with God, that I'm one with the universe, and that everything all works together. And that God is always going to have my back. And he will always provide for me as long as I stay in alignment with my purpose. Top of the deck is the Justice card. There's Libra energy. We're now at a Libra season. Okay? You may be dealing with the Libra, have strong Libra on your chart. But the thing is, there's karma. Some of you, your karma's coming in. Okay? Karma. Have you been too stingy? with your money? Have you been too materialistic? Have you been too all like your lack mentality? There, I don't have enough. There's enough to go around. I can't do this spiritual thing because everybody else is doing it, and I don't think I'm gonna make money off it. Whatever, I'm not gonna be provided for. Again, something karmic is coming for some of you with this lunar eclipse in Taurus on Saturday. You may think it's not going to be fair, but God knows what's fair. Some of you, you may be losing something pretty big this week. But you're being asked to have faith in that because it's a karmic lesson that some of you may not have been learning. Where I'm not saying that some of you are like super wealthy and you're Scrooge McDuck, but I have to say the truth here. This is all about truth, man. I'm being in my integrity here because there's some of you where you could be overspending on things where you're trying to do it for show, or you like to have, you know, certain possessions or whatever. You want to make yourself look good, or you're filling a void with these material things when you should be investing your money, your time, your energy into things that deal with the star card, into your purpose, your mission work, your healing, your spiritual growth here, working on being closer to God, those types of things. So, and as some of you are being like very miserly, where this is a little bit, this is two cups. This is 2 cards away from the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. Here's what I'm getting. It's like somebody here who has the money, who has the resources, who has goods, who has things that they can share with others, right? Even talents, okay? Providing help. But they say, nope, this is my money. I made this. No, I'm afraid that I'm not going to have enough later. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to spend this on something else. I want to spend it on me, or my things, or what I want. And then you get to the 5 of Pentacles, and all of a sudden, you may all of a sudden lose all that money that you were hoarding, that you were keeping underneath your mattress, that you were leaving in the bank account. Oh, I've got millions of dollars in there and I don't want to touch it because I'm going to save it for a rainy day. I'm not saying you shouldn't be saving. Yes, saving is good. But then sometimes you can run into a situation where you've saved up money and all of a sudden it's like, damn it, I have to spend it on this. Right? It would happen to me when I went to the doctor the other day at the beginning of October. Okay, here we go. And I had to have a butt ton of faith when I wiped out my bank account. And it's like, okay, now I have a little bit coming in. It's like, am I going to still be able to cover the rest of the month type of thing? Faith, 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 and faith. I got to do my purpose. I got to do my purpose. I got to do my purpose. And let me tell you, the live that I did Saturday night, because you guys know that I don't do the free lives all the time, God was testing me there. And God told me who to do a reading for. And God is like, remember what you're doing here, Jess. Right? All within good reason, balance it out. Don't overdo it. Right? With giving everybody a free reading. Because if you were on my live Saturday night, I didn't do that this time around. God told me who to choose. For very good reason. And sure, there were people who had the option of purchasing a reading because maybe they were all thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to get a free reading. She tends to give everybody free readings. So maybe she just did that. It was a test for some of you too, right? Test for me, test for you, test of faith. So some of you, you don't give up the goods, not in that way. It's about you're not in your integrity. Yeah, you know what? I need to share. I need to give. I need to donate. I don't need anything back or whatever. I need to invest in my healing. I need to do this. I need to not worry about money when I'm fulfilling my purpose as a Reiki practitioner, as a healer, as a light worker, as a whatever, right? But if you're still caught up in, no, I'm not going to go that route. I need to pay the bills. No, I'm afraid. Nope. I got to hold on to this money. I got to hold on to this job. I got to hold on to this salary. If God has been telling you to go live your purpose, what you're destined to be, what you're destined to do, and you're still holding on too tightly to that job, the money thing, God's going to come in and give you a rude awakening, and he's going to strip that from you to get you to realize it's like 5 of Pentacles. Oh, crap. Now I'm being shunted into my life's purpose. It's like a tower card. And even when you are living your purpose and still things are a little bit difficult financially, right? God's testing you to see if you're going to go back to a scarcity mindset, material mindset. You're going to go back to thinking that you need the physical money to be sustained, to be provided for. That is a huge challenge with people who are called to do this type of work. The chosen ones are the ones who lose practically everything, if not everything. But it's what they do after they lose everything as to what God will do in your life that's important. Are you still going to trust in God even when you're doing your purpose and you don't really can fully make ends meet? You may make ends meet, but just barely. But you're going to go build up your faith, build up your faith, and build up your faith, and God will come in, do little miracles here and there, and then he will hit you with probably the greatest miracle you will ever see in your life when you pass these tests. And then after that, 5 of Pentacles is 6 of Pentacles, right? The wealthy person realizes, I can't keep all my money to myself. I can't keep all my resources and talents. I got to help other people. If I know I am better off than other people, I have an obligation to help those who are less fortunate. If you look in the Bible, it's there. If God has blessed you with so much, you're not supposed to keep that for yourself, because that money, you didn't earn it. God gave it to you. You did something to get that. That money belongs to God, essentially. God had a hand in it, so it doesn't belong to you. It came from somebody else. That came from somebody else. It came from somebody else. It cycles around, which is why I said money is energy. So then when you get to the 6 of Pentacles, you're like, oh, I have to give back. I have to share. I have to be charitable here. There are so many people who have less than what I do. And you all know, you watching this, there are way more people who are wishing for what you have right now. Think about that one for a little bit. If you have a phone, you have internet service, and you got a running car, you had a meal today, people would kill for that meal that you ate. People would kill for, in a sense, people are wishing and praying and hoping for the car that you're driving right now. For being able to watch this reading. Possibly. For having water to drink. That Starbucks coffee that you bought today. That smoothie that you got, a tropical smoothie or whatever, whoever this is for. You, people would have loved to have the breakfast that you had this morning. So when you look at it that way and you start realizing, oh shit, man, I do have way more than what other people do. Even when money is tight and you're doing your spiritual work, right? Like for me, I still donate to charities. I give what I can. If I going somewhere and I'm tipping somebody, I still give them a very nice tip. And sometimes I'll hesitate, sometimes I won't. I see a homeless person, right? And I know the holidays are coming up. Here, have this. You need this more than I do. Even when I'm doing my readings and stuff, right? You see, if you're still watching this, I go above and beyond. If God has me wanting to channel all these messages, I'm going to do it till God says to go pull another card and move on to the next thing. It's really being in your truth and being in your integrity and understanding this. I have a purpose to share my money, my resources, my gifts, my talents. I can't keep that to myself. I can't expect to make $1 out of everything that I do, right? Like everything that I put out there on my YouTube channel, it's for free. It's for free. But some of the other stuff that I do that I know is of value, I charge for that, like with memberships or a reading or a tarot package. I have to pull myself away from the material world and know that God has bigger, better plans for me, right? It was a huge karmic lesson for me, because for me, I was always like, for a long time, it was funny because I used to be very frugal when I started working, and then all of a sudden God blessed me with like I was getting promotion, or my salary kept jumping up, right? And then I kind of got a little bit of shiny object syndrome, and I just but I was not healed. Then I started to go through a lot of stuff, and then I started to purchase things to fill a void, and it got out of control, right? And then I had issues where I knew I needed to save more instead of spending, or I needed to invest more in like my healing. But when the pandemic happened, I ended up spending all this money on my spiritual business, on my website, on a whole bunch of other things, on learning about, I had a Mind Valley yearly subscription. I invested in, classes and things like that. I spent a lot of money on that to help me to better understand this whole spiritual thing, my gifts, right? The same thing with learning tarot and getting decks to work with and all these other things. I started to put more money in that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'd rather be spending money on these other things. But then I started to pull away from this Four of Pentacles energy. And then even then, when I finally let my job go and all these things go, and I was trusting what God was doing in my life, it's like, Jess, you have a higher purpose. Then I ended up losing practically everything. My possessions, the material stuff, the house, and 90% of everything that I worked so hard for that I had. And God's like, nope, I got to take this away. You know what's coming. I'm going to have to remove these from you. And that was a huge test of my faith for sure. God was trying to see, are you going to go back to who you were? Are you going to go back to thinking that you need all these things and you need to have that job to pay for the roof over your head? It was not easy, because I knew, I was like, God, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And God's like, you need to trust. You need to trust. And even then, guys, even then when I was having a hard time and trying to keep the house and all these things, God was still like, go give that homeless man the $20. Go give to that charity. Go give to that charity. Go donate to that light worker, or that prophetic word, or like people who have prophetic word channels. Go donate to this. Go give extra to that. Tip this person 30%. Tip this person 40%, right? I'm not making millions of bucks just yet, but I can't be this either anymore, even when, I'm in my purpose. But every time, it's like God has been coming in at the 11th hour, and it's just like, holy shit balls. Because God's teaching me that you're not lacking anything, Jess. You know what your purpose is. You know what I've called you to do. You need to trust me. You need to have that unwavering faith. No matter what it looks like in the material world. If you saw my live last night, look, the masculine had said, things aren't always what they seem. Look closer, right? When we're looking closer, we're looking more into the spirituality of things. So some of you, you're not learning your karmic lessons. So this could very well be where God may be stripping you of some things financially, or possessions, or depending on if you've paid off your karmic debt, you've learned your karmic lessons about security, stability, utilizing your gifts and talents without getting anything in return, material possessions, thinking that you're always not having anything, that there's not enough to go around. If you've learned from this, right, You're no longer holding on to your money and being afraid of spending, or you're no longer overspending. Something huge is coming your way. You're not being possessive about the material world anymore. You're not hoarding anymore. You're understanding that less is more. You've released materialism. You're living a more uncluttered life, and you're understanding what your priorities are now. You're understanding what is really of value, what gives you true stability and security. All right? If you've already learned these lessons, you are about to get your karma in a positive way with this Justice card. You've balanced out the scales. God has seen what you've done. He understands what you now have learned. That you're more spiritual than anything. He's about to knock you out with some crazy ass miracle. I'm hearing it's the miracle of all miracles. The impossible will now become possible because of your faith. Let's see what guidance we have for you. What else do we need to know, Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadians, Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Oh, they want me to go look underneath the Four of Pentacles. It's the Six of Swords. Depending on where you're at right now, guys, either things are going to go from bad to worse, or they're going to go from worse to better. Some of you, it's better days ahead, smooth sailing. Really heading towards your paradise. The struggle is over. Your worries are over. There's sunnier days ahead, like I was talking about. You're going to move to a much better place of peace and tranquility. This is also relocation and travel. All right? Some of you are relocating to where God needs you to be. I'm hearing a place of permanency. All right? Some of you are now heading towards a place where it's going to be a lot more stable, especially financially. And because this Six of Swords usually has a person who is steering the boat, they're guiding them away from struggle, away from challenges. It's like a mother and a son, or like two people. I get very strongly that some of you, somebody is helping you out. It's like a destiny helper is helping you relocate, helping you move to a better situation, helping you with money. They're going to be providing for you. It could be like a divine masculine here or something like that. Well, for some of you it is, because the cover in here, I see a union here with this card. So it could be that for some of you. It depends. You need to be honest with yourself. Or it's going to go the opposite way. A storm is brewing. A storm is coming. It can go from bad to worse, depending on what you're doing. Especially if you've been selfish. This is a selfish card. Again, Scrooge McDuck, miserly. If you've been selfish and God's been telling you to give more, or to like go all out, or whatever it is, to help or to invest in your healing or something, and you've been spending money on these other things when God has told you time and time again, this is, do the spiritual business. Invest in the healing, invest in your spiritual growth, whatever. Do what is purposeful, what is going to help you to grow, to heal, and you're holding that back. You're resisting to change, and you're expecting something tangible from what you spend on. You're going to get a rude awakening, and God's going to strip you of what you already have, where you're going to have to spend money on all these other things that you weren't expecting. It's like a lesson to be learned. God says, okay, I wanted you to spend money on this, but you spent money on this, or you valued this more than this. You valued the devil more than me. Oh, I just heard that. Because if you're valuing the material world and not valuing God, God sees this and he goes, okay, I see where your values lie. I see where your morals lie. All right, let me take more of that money away. And it could go, your financial situation could go from bad to worse. That's if you're not in your spiritual purpose, right? Because there are tests where even though you've learned this lesson and God tests you, where, oh, you got to spend money on this all of a sudden, God's going to see, like, let's see what you do with it. Let's see if you get frustrated. Let's see if you're afraid to spend money. Let's see if you're afraid to, if you lose your faith. Okay? So we have Coven, number 9. I am you and you are me. When we come together, we are all we seek. The other one is Witch's Rosary, number 43. That could be significant for you. Maybe that's your age. Maybe 43 is the number of your jersey. I don't know. Craft your skills with intentions repeated. A practice of magic powered by purpose. The bottom of the deck is the Harvest Moon. Look at that. Actually, this lunar eclipse is a blood moon, if I'm not mistaken. I think we've already had the Harvest Moon. Number 20. Slow your heart and move gently into the coming of self. Okay. Slow your heart. It's like slow down a little bit. All right, let's look at 43, the Witch's Rosary. Keywords: focus, concentration, intention, developing habits, and trust. This card is a card of poor habits with regards to money or like possessions or hoarding or things, our scarcity mindset, not sharing. Okay. Your higher self chose this card because it represents the long road to success that guides you to remain focused and intentional. Your situation is not one that will gain immediate results, but is likely to be rewarding with patience and consistent effort. The way forward is to be practical, responsible, and committed to mundane tasks that aren't glamorous, but do provide security and stability. Oh my God. You will receive this card when you're ready to put in the hard work to see your goal through, although it does remind you to avoid perfectionism. Habits and skills take time to master, so don't take it too personally if you don't get it right at first. You may follow instructions step by step and find that still something is off. Remember that you can always start from the beginning, retracing your steps until you discover the source of the problem. This card also confirms that you're on the right path and should keep doing what you're doing. You may be frustrated if you're not seeing results, which is why this card has made its way to you. Spirit wants you to know that you have done nothing wrong, but must trust that your work will be rewarded with time. This is why I'm saying some of you were like, I'm not going to give any more money to this, to my healing, to this, my purpose, whatever, because I'm not seeing results. I'm not getting anything back from it. Remember, you're a spiritual being. You're getting back healing at the same time. You're getting back this stuff in other ways. God is trying to give you miracles through these things if you're not seeing these things yet. All right? So this has a manifesting chant, and I'll read it to you in case you want to do this. This chant is excellent for calling in what you desire, although affirmations work great as well. It can be done with anything that helps keep you consistent in repetition. Go to a place that is quiet and free of distractions. Nature is always best, but you can choose wherever you prefer. Hold a rosary in your hands and place your fingers on one of the beads. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, then recite an intention or phrase and repeat it for every bead. You can even do this with mala beads, all right? This is a sanctuary card as well. Try to find something of a sanctuary, a spiritual place, some place where you can connect with God, where you can do your purpose, your spiritual work, some place that not many people walk through or they bother you in, okay? Some of you got to literally set a sanctuary for yourself to really get closer to God and to do your purpose, your healing, your spiritual practices. So for those of you who like there's a thing with hoarding or scarcity mindset or overspending or being miserly, all right, this is just to get you to learn that that's not your purpose here. That's not your life. All right. I am saying, because it says keep doing what you're doing, but if you are being selfish and miserly and not sharing your gifts and talents, you're having a mental, not a mental breakdown, you're having a scarcity mindset and you're being materialistic, it's time for you to change, because this is a resistant to change card. So let's look at number 9. Coven. family, community, raised power. If you didn't watch my live Saturday night, I highly recommend you do, because the love reading at the end was very significant about family. Your higher self chose this card because it's a positive one for achieving goals that involve many people. One person is powerful on their own, but may lack certain skills or knowledge that another can easily fulfill. Consider seeking a partner or partners to aid in your quest if you have not already. I was talking about working with other people. Maybe building your own spiritual practice, or working with others on how to start spiritual practices, or build an altar, or build a sanctuary, create a sanctuary for yourself. Working with others to do your healing. I did say this is also this is a chakra healing card, an aura healing cleansing card too. Relationship healing, ancestral pattern healing. I do those things as well. All my other readings deal with healing, as you all know. This is all about wellness too. Consider seeking a partner or partners to aid in your quest if you have not already. The collective power of your partnership or team will catapult and hasten your success. Also, if you've been struggling to do tasks that do not come naturally to you, you may consider seeking help from someone who has expertise in this area. It could be time to expand your business family by hiring a new employee or giving an existing one additional duties that are suited to their talents. In a reading about love, the Coven card can mean sharing activities with your family and learning from each other in the process. You may ask your kids or partner to show you more about some of their interests, as taking on an active role in the interests of those you love will continue to... Hold on. You may ask your kids or partner to show you more about some of their interests, as taking an active role in the interests of those you love will contribute to more connection, understanding, and support, and represents a different way to show that you care. And then we have number 20. This deals with realigning with the soul, time for a slower pace, and self-care. You can't make it up. Your higher self chose this card because fall is a natural time for adopting a slower pace. And when it is fall season at the time I'm recording this, obviously. The harvest moon is generally the full moon that occurs closest to the autumn equinox. Yep, we already had it. And is associated with balance, realignment, and reflection. At that time, the air gets a familiar crispness, the days are noticeably shorter, and animals begin to find warmer places to shelter. And no one could blame you for seeking out comfort foods and warm drinks. Slowing down naturally leads to a desire for more self-support, making the harvest moon one of the best moon energies for focusing on spiritual nourishment and well-being. Spirituality, guys. And the Justice card at the top is about finding balance, right? Your soul is guiding you through this card to shine a light on your self-care needs. Prioritizing rest and relaxation is a worthy cause, but making space for all forms of self-care is necessary for feeling supported and fulfilled. Today, you may need to give yourself some grace when a deadline has come and gone and you're still no closer to achieving what you wanted. Tomorrow, you might need that one friend who always makes you laugh even when it seems as though the world is shifting beneath your feet. The day after, you may need to dance naked and sing in the bathroom using your hairbrush as a microphone. What did I say about full frontal, about the nakedness? What did we get in the live Saturday night about sing your heart out? Again, if you haven't watched the live, watch it. At the end of it, I do a collective love reading, okay? This is tying into this. Reflect upon the ways you have neglected yourself, doing so with self-compassion and self-love. There's no need to slap yourself on the wrist for forgetting to drink enough water or those times you canceled on your friends at the last minute, as long as you make a commitment to doing your best moving forward. Every moment of awareness is an opportunity to make a new choice, and every new choice is a deposit in your well-being bank account. Oh, there's actually a bonus here if I scan the QR code. What? On the back of this book. Oh, the book. It's not in the back of the book. Oh, no, it's here. I don't know if you want to scan this because it gives you bonus material. Okay. See what the self-care, see what I said, something about drinking water or something like that, coffee. Somebody here is a coffee drinker, a coffee lover. That's a stimulant, guys. I know coffee is all cool and great and all, but if you can try to at least mitigate that, it's a false stimulant. Try green tea instead. I highly recommend that. Okay. So we've got these cards here. Now let's get another one from my Star into Your Power Oracle deck. Whoa. Excuse me. Somebody here has a cold. It's not me because I don't feel it. Somebody's been sneezing a lot, or somebody has allergies. Maybe fall allergies. You're allergic to hay. Something about a hay bale, a farm, something like that. This is available for sale. You want to check the description box below. There's a direct link to this. If you become a Capella member, even if you sign up for a 7-day free trial, you will get a discount off of this deck. The coupon code will automatically be sent to you when you sign up for a Capella membership. All right. If you sign up for the higher memberships, you get discounts on every reading. The Auriga and the Capella memberships have discounts for you on everything, and you can use that coupon code indefinitely. You can use it an unlimited amount of times. 111. Thoughts are manifesting very rapidly. Watch your thoughts. If you have scarcity mindset thoughts, guess what? You're going to attract more lack. You're going to always think that you never have enough, and you won't have enough, of course. But of course, it could be a test for you. What did I say? There's more than meets the eye here. See with the card at the bottom of the masculine deck? Stop looking at the 3D world, because some of you who are aligned, there's a big miracle coming. Okay? Something with family, your love life is going to change, or you're going to have the family that you've always desired, you'd wished for, something like that. Remember, there's more than meets the eye. It's like, stop looking at it from a 3D perspective here. Quiet your mind is after that. See? Watch your thoughts. Top of the deck. Forcing creates resistance. Resistance to change. All right. So we've got that there. Let's do your self-care tip. Let's see what your wellness tip is for the week of October 23rd. Holy Spirit, Archangels, Galactic Families, Pleiadian, Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. Personal journey. All right, Holy Spirit, I follow what feels right within me without needing validation from others. We are each on our own journey, and mine does not need to look like anyone else's. My enjoyment and satisfaction is validation enough. Yep. Everyone's on their own journeys. They go through different lessons. They go through different things, right? But we're all learning to be more spiritual at the end of the day. We all have different purposes. We all have different callings, right? Our journeys do not need to look like anyone else's, which is why I was talking about with comparing yourself earlier. You do what feels right. You do what your body is calling you to do. Listen to what your body is telling you to do. Listen to your intuition. right? Don't beat yourself up if you fall off the path, right? Don't beat yourself up if you're sliding back a little bit or whatever. But God's like, again, like, are you realizing, okay, there's a lesson. Are you going back to who you used to be and staying there? Or like you're going to realize, oh, wait, no, I'm sliding backwards. Like, let me go back. Let me go back to God. Let me go back to God. It's like what I was doing like today, right? It's like, it's a never ending cycle, guys. Because my Chiron's in Taurus. I have that wound there with regards to what is really of value, or like valuing myself, or understanding what is really purposeful here. Now that I know my spiritual gifts, right? So we're all going to go through something. Projecting. Excuse me. Rather than reacting and projecting my emotions onto others, I remember no one is to blame. No one is to be responsible for the emotions that I feel. When someone says or does something that brings up strong emotions within me, I have the choice in how I respond. Right? You're going through a hard time. Watch how you react or how you respond if people are like, talking to you or whatever it is. This is responding as opposed to reacting. And if people are reacting in a way that is negative to you, don't take it personally, okay? Because what goes on within them projects outward to you. Maybe some people are struggling, right, financially, or they're beating themselves up because they're not where they need to be, or they feel like they don't feel healed, or because some of them, they aren't healed. When one isn't healed, the other aren't healed. When we are healed, other people are healed. Again, like it says with the journey, or the book said, you were expecting results and you're not where you wanted to be, right? And you don't want to invest any more time and money and energy into your spiritual gifts, into your purpose, into your healing, right? Healing takes a long time. The results with regards to whatever your purpose is, whatever you're building, whatever you're wishing for, desiring, is going to come in divine timing. Everybody gets there differently, right? Again, don't project, don't compare, don't blame. No one is responsible for the emotions that you feel but you. Learn how to respond in a positive way as opposed to a negative way. Wow, look what's at the top of the deck. Releasing anger. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as the human being they are. I release the anger I feel and free myself. Freeing myself and expanding to love. Maybe for some of you, you need to let go of the anger. Maybe you're angry because you haven't gotten the wish, you haven't gotten the desire, you haven't seen the results, right? You're still dealing with financial struggles and difficulties. You can be angry for a little bit and just talk to God. God, I'm angry. What the hell? Whatever. It's happened to me. But then I'm like, I got to get back to a place of peace. God, renew my faith, please. Strengthen my faith. I'm just venting to you right now, God. I always go to God. It's like there was one time that I really vented to God. That's when the day Mars went into Scorpio, and I cried and I was pissed off. I'm like, God, why did you take those things from me? I was obedient and I did this and blah, 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 blah. Why am I still here? Why hasn't anything changed? And I was just mad. And I don't get mad like that. It's rare for me to get pissed off like that. And God is the best ever. He goes, I understand, my child. I know. I needed you to release this. I need you to tell me this. I don't blame you for being that way. I know this was challenging. I knew it was hard for you. But look at who you are now. Look at what you've been able to do. Look at the other gifts that I've given you that you didn't have before all that happened. Look at what you've become. Look at how peaceful your life is. Look at your relationship with me, Jess. Look at all the faith you have. Look at how you're not afraid of money anymore. You're not afraid of being without anymore. Look at how you're helping other people heal. Look at what you are doing in your life, what you've done for yourself and what you're doing for other people. There's way bigger value in what I've given you, what you've given to yourself, aside from all of that stuff that you've lost over the years. And he's so right. And he's like, I need you to trust in me, Jess. You've already seen what I've done with you with the miracles. The last year in that house in Maryland, and even more so in the house that you are in now. You've seen what I can do. You've been blown away many times in a positive way. Look at how I've always come through for you. That about me doesn't change. He's talking to me right now about this. He always comes through with his words and his promises. The devil's the one that lies, not God. It's just a matter when God says that I'm ready for those other bigger miracles, those other things. And I have been asking for certain things for years, guys, years. They're big things. But God keeps showing me, giving me breadcrumbs, giving little by little, that I have to watch my thoughts, and my thoughts ended up manifesting very rapidly. It's like what was happening with the football game. I was manifesting some crazy shit. I'm like, dude, I could even do that in a football game? But even then, right? Sometimes my thoughts aren't always going to manifest the way that I want, right? It depends on whether God has that for me or not. If it's part of my purpose. If it's part of God's plan. Right? Case in point, I know we understand that like Ricky Martin is, he is homosexual, but that's beside the point because I love him anyway. I can totally have a wish and a dream to manifest, marrying Ricky Martin, right? And God's like, that's not who I ordained as your kingdom spouse. You see what I'm saying? See, God is going to not always grant those wishes and those dreams, because if it's not a part of our purpose, it's not a part of our mission, if it's not part of who we are or his plan, then that's not going to happen. It's so funny that I talked about the Ricky Martin thing. Holy Spirit, what is the affirmation? I am confident in myself and in my beliefs. Say this 3 times every day. All right? Believing yourself first and foremost, guys, is the most important one. And believing in God. And believing what you know is right for you. Right? Your journey. People may have it easier than you this lifetime. Don't compare. Okay? People come into their gifts before you do. Don't compare. People experience the miracles earlier in life before you do. Don't compare. Whatever this is. Okay? People have been struggling with money all their lives compared to you, or whatever it is. Don't compare your journey to somebody else's. I am living a blessed life. This is important. This is why I was saying you have things that other people really want, guys. And they're both in green ink. Okay? They're both in green ink. This is about abundance, nature, that God always provides. Some of you need to do some root chakra work, heart chakra work. Okay. I'm going to give you an extra for this week because we have full moon lunar eclipse. So this is a bonus here. And Taurus, what can we expect with this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus? Holy Spirit, Archangels, galactic families, Pleiadians, Sirians, please and thank you. Thank you for your wisdom, your guidance, your support, and your clarity. See, look at this, and it came out in the reverse. Some of you, you've given up on your commitment. Some of you are like, you're losing faith. And I don't read reversals in these, but they want me to read it that way. Okay? It's a huge lesson to learn. Your faith, your trust is being tested. Your commitment is being tested the first quarter moon. All right? And then we have the disseminating moon at the bottom of the deck. It's time to breathe out. Take time to breathe out the disseminating moon. All right. Let's read from the bookie book. Your commitment is being tested. There could be some challenges coming your way, but they're just the universe's way of testing you. The first quarter moon calls for you to face any hurdles with confidence. What do you actually think is possible? Why do we have the I am confident in my beliefs card? Believe in your dreams, believe in the miracles, because God will make it. He will make a way out of no way. But if you throw it away, you just like, screw this, I don't have faith, I don't believe in this anymore, then guess what? It won't happen. Your commitment to yourself, your mission, your person, your connection, God knows what else, your belief systems, your purpose, your gifts, your talents, they're all being tested this week. What do you actually think is possible? If you believe you can do it, then you probably can. If you spend your life affirming that something is too big for you to surmount, it probably is. See how it works? Do you believe your dreams will come true, or have you secretly already given up? Showing some commitment now will help you move towards your desired outcome. What you believe to be true is true for you, so believe in yourself. That's twice. I actually 3 times, because I said it before already. I am committed to my dreams and move towards them with confidence. Wow. The answer to your question is yes, but not yet. You're halfway to your goal. You still need to put in a bit more effort. Sometimes you just need to realize how much we want something. You need to recommit to someone or something. No matter when you pull this card, you need to see any dramas as a stepping stone to where you want to be. It can also be a time when you need to stay strong through a storm. Disseminating moon is the bottom of the deck, which I will also read. I just looked at the full moon eclipse. Disseminating moon, where is this? Okay, disseminating moon, where'd you go? Don't mind me, guys. I'm looking for the disseminating moon here. That's at the beginning. There it is. Take time to breathe out. The intensity of the full moon has abated, and what are we left with? That's what this card is asking you. It suggests that the situation you're asking about has now peaked, and it's time for you to regroup and learn from your experiences rather than blindly forging ahead. Regroup was the word I was trying to say. I don't think I said that. Have faith that what is happening is for the best. Try to accept the way things are now and give yourself and others time out to relax. Breathe. We can't be on all the time. See? Have faith that what is happening is for the best. If you feel you've hit an obstacle or even failed in some way, now is the time to reflect on how to do things differently next time. Be honest with yourself if you feel bad about your current situation, and then remind yourself that life goes in cycles. I am where I am, and it's okay. You should know where you stand either now or very soon. You need to take time out for your own good. It's time for you to share your wisdom and experience with someone else. Avoid falling into a slump like the Four of Pentacles energy we saw in the live, right? The disseminating moon is the first moon phase after the explosion of energy that comes with the full moon. No matter when you pick this card, it suggests you're at a more tranquil point in the life cycle of whatever situation you're talking about. This is not the ideal time to start something new. The disseminating moon is a time to breathe out. Give yourself some time off and think about what has passed. Look what's after this, guys. Have faith in your dreams, the waxing crescent moon. They want me to read that one too. It's at the top. A time to give rather than take. The new moon in Virgo. You are enough. You don't need validation. Okay? What moon was that? Waxing crescent. Have faith in your dreams. Don't give up. The situation you're asking about is still taking shape. You're nowhere near the end of the story. Whatever's happening now is just a step along the way. As they say, the self-help classics, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. However, the waxing crescent moon card is a reminder that you must still keep working towards whatever it is that you want. If you can't take practical steps, spend time meditating on the question you're asking about and allow your higher self to download information to you about your next step. Overall, this card suggests there is every reason to be hopeful for a very positive outcome to the situation you're asking about, so keep the faith. I am focused on what I want. Just because you can't see your dreams, it doesn't mean they're not manifesting. Don't look back. Stay focused on moving forwards. Be patient as events unfold. Dig a little deeper to find more courage. This suggests you need to really pursue your dreams. It's the time to put your foot down hard as you chase your goals. Don't give up on your dreams, on those miracles, those prayers, those things. Okay. All right, guys. Your commitment to yourself, to God, is also being tested. Wow. All right, guys. That is your weekly reading. Okay, I pray that this helped you. Don't forget to check out the description box to check out all of my stuff, my memberships. Download the free mobile app to get weekly readings. You can access the Capella Crew Forum for other additional bonus content for free, other encouragement from me, stuff that goes on in my life, whatever. You can even put your own stories, share your own stuff in the Capella Crew Forum if you're not a paid Capella member, okay? That's a community for everybody. That's an open community. It's not a private one. But if you're interested in signing up for Capella membership, I highly recommend that you go to capellawellness.com, click on Capella memberships, look at the different tiers to see what you really need for your spiritual growth, your healing, whatever you feel called to. Try the 7-day free trial. A lot of the memberships have 7-day free trials. The higher ones don't for a reason. But you can start off small, right? And see how that works for you, right? You can cancel at any time. And I do not come after you. I do not blow up your phone or your email to try to get you to come back or anything like that. That's not supposed to happen. If that's happening, please let me know because I did not set it up that way. Don't forget to check out the other content I have on my channel. All right. There's plenty of videos there. Even you can go back to my old zodiac signs that I used to do before that I was called not to do anymore. You can even go back and check those. There's plenty of playlists. If you go to my playlist section of my channel, if you are looking for daily guidance, guys, you know, the lowest tier is the Protostar tier. No, it's something like, or Nebula, one of those. You can just get daily guidance readings and healing meditations for a month, okay? Daily guidance videos. There's like, 12 to 15, 16 readings a month that you will get as opposed to what I put on my channel, right? That could very well help you. That could be something you may want to invest in if you feel like you really need that or you want to try it out and see if it's going to support you in your journey. All right. If you have any questions about anything, my email's in the description box below. But if you download the free mobile app, you can directly chat with me there. Okay. You can become a free Capella member and you can still talk to me on the app if you have quick questions or you have any issues with anything. Or you can even download the app to discover it, take a look at it, go through it, see what's there. You could book your readings there. When you become a paid Capella member, all of your bonus content is in the Capella Cove. You can meet up with other people. If you're a Sunstar tier member or higher, you can be part of my weekly members live readings. I do Twin Flame support groups there. I do erotica readings sometimes. Those are really fun. The trick or treat one the last time was a blast. It was a very serious one too. I have special meetings, sessions for the Auriga members the last week of every month. We talk about specific things about the Twin Flame journey, the Divine Counterpart journey. There's a bunch of bonus content. Some of those memberships have coaching in them, guys. So if you really feel you need the extra guidance, the extra help there, I highly recommend you go check those out and, you know, just let your heart lead you to which one you feel you may need. All right. Don't forget to ask me any questions you may have. All right, guys, that concludes your reading. Thank you so very much for watching this video, for subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and for illuminating the thumbs up button. I would greatly appreciate it. I wish you the best today. Always, I send you so, so much love, and I hope I illuminated your well-being today. Again, this is Jess from Capella Wellness, starring out.